partners, and this is a highly allocated program, so we don't offer it everywhere. We can only do so many in a day, only so many in the cellar. To come down and create a flavor profile. The easiest part is to get them to taste the whiskey. The hardest part is to get them to come up with a flavor profile regardless of these staves. So they actually have to write down what they want, and then we work backwards in the same manner that Bill Samuels did. So when these guys came down, we walked them through each one of the staves that we offer. We feel as though these 5 staves, and I'm going to pass these around and talk about them in just a minute, these 5 staves represent the best parts of Maker's Mark. So we first had to section off our core product into flavor camps. Let's say sweetness, right? Well, what's in with sweetness? There's about 10, 15, 20 different descriptors we can come up with. All right, spiciness, rich, chocolate. All of these things are notes found within Maker's Mark to some degree. And then the cooperage worked to use virgin oak staves to further highlight those specific notes. We feel they're exaggerated enough for an average palate to tell a difference between them, but close enough that they all maintain the core DNA of Maker's Mark, if that makes sense. So, that picture, but these are the stave options here that we've highlighted by chips. Each of these staves are cooked in a different manner, as we talked about with the infrared heat, different species of oak, and they're even cut different ways at times. And once again, going back to the cooking comparisons, if you take a nice cut of meat and you cut it different, if you cook it different, if you sear it, grill it, bake it, whatever you're gonna do, it brings out different flavors and different textures. Same thing within the whiskey. They're all virgin oak staves. All right, let me grab my staves here. Did they make their way back there to the back, Mike?
You got the 46 stave back there.
I've got the ring there, but they're a little bit small. All right, I'll pass the ring around. You guys can take a look at these. Each one of these represents the individual staves, okay? So the options that we offer, first of all, we offer an American oak stave, which is the same species as the exterior of the barrel. We voiced that concern to the cooperage. We don't want it to be the same. We want to differentiate it a little bit. So this stave, the Baked American Pure 2, is actually a convection cooked American oak stave. So we're talking like over 16 hours of cooking under 350 in temperature, whereas that's a direct char on the inside of this, so they're much different profiles. I feel like the Pure 2 highlights a lot of bright sweetness, specifically vanilla and a lot of oaky notes. We offer a seared French Cuvée stave. It'll be a little bit easier when I pass this around, but you can see it's actually grooved. This is a French oak species found in the Vosges forest. If anybody's into wine, it's almost along the lines of what you find with Burgundy barrel production. They've grooved it to provide a variance in the flavor compounds. Think about it, as it's getting seared, it's going through this oven. The heat source comes down, it hits the valleys and cooks those at a higher temperature. Excuse me, the peaks at a higher temperature than the valleys, so it differentiates flavor. I feel this stave gives you a lot of texture, oiliness. When you think about creaminess and butteriness within whiskey, there's that coating feeling. The Cuvée stave does a really good job of that. Of course, we had to honor Bill, so we do offer his stave in the program, the Maker's 46 stave. Nobody uses it though. We offer a roasted French mocha stave, which is a French oak stave that is convection cooked at very high temperatures for very long periods of time. It's an extremely popular stave because it provides subtle hints of dark chocolate, cocoa powder, a little bit dusty, a little bit drier on the palate. And of course, we offer a toasted French spice stave, which is the same French oak variants cooked in a convection oven from high to low. And I'm guessing everybody understands what spice means. Not sort of the rye spice in the industry today, more along the lines of baking spice. I'm gonna pass these around. You can see the difference in color and texture on the staves here. And I want to bring Mike in for just a minute. If you want to speak a little bit to what the program meant to you and kind of that hard part of developing a flavor vision and then working backwards with these staves to get there and maybe use this to help you out.
So luckily I was able to do it twice. The first time we went down, this was right here. No, that's the fourth one.
We got all these.
There's another one. So yeah. So when I went down last time, I wanted to do something that kind of was my take on what a real Maker's Mark 46 cash strength would be, which was, I wanted to get really creamy, rich flavors and still leave it with those deeper spices, as opposed to some of the lighter and brighter notes. That's kind of why I stayed away from the big P2 here. This time, a little different. This is the first one on top here. Second one was my next baby here, number 10. What I wanted to do this time is I wanted to make it really well-rounded. I wanted to really hit every part of your palate, sweet notes, but I wanted to balance it out, and I wanted to use more of the front of the spice staves, because I feel like the spice staves get really like spicy baking notes, and I didn't want to use mocha this time, because I thought that it was a little too dessert-like for me, but I still wanted to keep keep it well balanced, which is why I kind of kept the 46 days in there. It's something really different, and it's nice to be able to go in there with a vision in your mind, and able to put it into the flavor of it. And this took like 3 tries to really dial it in, because I wanted to get it just right. I hope you guys like it, by the way.